Hello and welcome, future Boilermakers, to the virtual information session for the online Masters of Science in Education in Curriculum and Instruction. Today we'll go over, obviously, meeting the presenters, myself, Zach Bergling, and Dr. Keeney, the Masters of Science in Education, Curriculum and Instruction overview, which will have some learning outcomes, concentration options, and curriculum details. We'll also address some FAQs, some frequently asked questions at the end, and go over admission requirements and next steps. Again, my name is Zach Bergling. I'll be moderating this conversation with Dr. Keeney. I am an executive online enrollment counselor on behalf of Purdue West Lafayette. Dr. Keeney?
Yes, my name is Dr. Rachel Kenny. I am an associate professor of mathematics education here at Purdue, and I teach some of the courses in the mathematics education concentration of this master's program.
So what makes our program unique? What makes it a little bit different? Well, the degree is offered asynchronously through Purdue West Lafayette. It is one of the top ranked online education programs in the United States by U.S. News and World Report, the Wall Street Journal, Times of Higher Education, and the list goes on. You get to complete your degree in a year and 6 months, total of 18 months. There are a total of 6 career-focused concentrations which are available to meet our students' needs, and being one of the best values in the United States with the return of investment, we do have one of the most affordable tuition options available. So some quick facts about the program. As I mentioned, it's a year and a half that you're going to complete it. So that's 18 months, 10 courses, 30 credit hours, and again, 6 concentrations to meet your needs. The cost is $450 in-state, $670 out-of-state. Take that and times it by 30. That's your tuition for the entirety of the degree track. So here are some learning outcomes. Dr. Keeney, if you wouldn't mind going into some of that with further detail, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Sure. Across all of our programs, we have a set of common learning outcomes, 6 concentrations in the programs. One of our outcomes is to develop a critical understanding of the changing demographics and diversity of students, of the schools and the communities that we work in to better serve their educational needs. We aim to help teachers or our students in the programs become advocates for the values of diversity, inclusivity, and social justice in their communities and classrooms. We also focus on deepening your understanding of educational trends and policies. This includes current and influential research, new state mandates, and other topics, and to consider the ways that are the impacts that these have on students and the communities that you work in. We aim to strengthen your disciplinary knowledge. Obviously, if you're interested in something like integrated STEM or the mathematics, we're going to focus on that disciplinary knowledge, but also transdisciplinary knowledge. So, for example, if you're a math teacher, the courses are going to strengthen your mathematical knowledge in things like algebra or geometry or data analysis. But at the same time, we're going to think about how you might engage in working across areas with science teachers, with art teachers, with history teachers to engage students in a wider scope of learning opportunities. Another outcome is that we work to mentor and coach and collaborate with you to be able to be mentors, coaches with your own colleagues and to encourage your graduation into the role of a leader in your school or community or your classroom. We help you strengthen your skills in communicating effectively with various stakeholders, including your colleagues, parents, families, administrators, policymakers, again, as part of helping you see yourself as a leader and as someone who's able to work effectively across the different stakeholder groups. And finally, we work to help you develop strategies for staying resilient, sustained resilience in addressing the ongoing opportunities and, of course, challenges in education.
So what are some of our areas of focus? Sorry, Dr. Keeney.
That's all right. As you mentioned, we have 6 concentration areas that you can choose within this master's program. The first we have is English language learning. So this is a program for teachers who want to provide high quality language and content area instruction for students who are learning English as an additional language in the U.S. and around the world. This program is designed for elementary, middle, or high school levels, so from the K-12 span. You may already have some experience working with English language learners in your schools, classrooms, or communities, and so this program is designed by our team of experts at Purdue who spend their time really researching and working with teachers in the field to develop the best practices, best skills, tools, and to identify resources that are useful in those spaces where you're working with these learners. Through this program, you can gain the coursework needed to be able to apply for an add-on license in English language learning to an existing teaching license. The second program focuses on a different group of students with special needs, or sometimes overlapping group, but this is the Gifted, Creative, and Talented Studies program. This program is designed for teachers who wish to learn to serve gifted, creative, and talented students while learning a strengths-based talent development model that helps all students realize their full potential. I want to stress one thing I love about our program here at Purdue is that it's not about how do I test kids and identify to pull them into a separate course for gifted learners. Instead, they really focus on helping teachers and anyone, professionals in education, learn to see the gifts and creativity and talents of all students, especially those that may not be obvious from a typical assessment for this, but to really help all students reach their full potential in the areas in which they excel. A third program is the Educational Technology concentration. In this program, you learn to integrate, I skipped the third program, sorry.
The most important one.
Skipped right over my program. Let's go back to that one. This is the program I am most involved in and quite proud of, and that is the mathematics education program. For this program, we focus on K-12 teachers and broadening your understanding of the practices and teaching and learning in mathematics. We work with you to develop your expertise in different topics in mathematics and also in the pedagogical techniques of teaching mathematics in ways that include student-centered learning, useful formative assessments, and formative assessment practices, understanding how to meet the needs of all learners in mathematics, and across the curriculum. Again, this program is appealing to teachers at any grade level. We have had teachers from kindergarten through high school, and we work to differentiate our curriculum to best meet your needs. Now let's go to the Educational Technology program. And this program is designed to help you learn to integrate technology into the curriculum and into the classroom. The program is designed to help prepare teachers and other professionals from the K-12 educational sphere and surrounding environments to learn to improve students' learning experiences with technology and their own technology skills, and to also develop the teachers' leadership roles involving technology and comfort with integrating it into their classroom. This concentration can include an optional graduate certificate. And this is an important concentration because we know that technology continues to grow and evolve every day, and our students are making use of it, our K-12 students are making use of it on a daily basis. So in this program, you learn how to help guide that use to be productive as a learning tool. Our fifth concentration from the master's is the Integrated STEM Education program. This program, we work with teachers or students who want to develop the knowledge and skills for teaching STEM disciplines, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, teaching those through the integration of engineering and technology design, and doing so in problem and project-based contexts. So to give a little more to that, engineering, technology, design. The engineering design model is really about how we plan, we design, we test, we observe, and we revise, right? And so it's a model where we engage students in mathematics and science and other areas of learning, but using this design of real-world context, problem-based context, which the problem is something that the students see meaning in and maybe want to try to solve in a problem or project-based context, and do so through this design process where they're really thinking about, what do I have to change? It's not right the first time, right? We have to persevere. We have to know that it's okay to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. This program is appealing, again, for any teacher who wishes to learn tools and highly relevant techniques for integrating STEM in K-12 schools. And then the sixth program, the final concentration, is in special education. This particular concentration is different from other programs we have at Purdue that are focused on being a licensed special ed teacher. Instead, this is a non-licensure program that is focused on people or professionals who want to explore inclusive education practices and gain a deeper knowledge of the policies, as it says here, that govern the responsibilities of schools, teachers, and providers who serve these children with individuals with exceptionalities. This concentration focuses on those skills necessary to meet the needs of learners with exceptionalities and specifically targets area of literacy learning. So what's nice about all of our 5 programs is that we have a flexible curriculum, but they're also well-guided and well-designed to help you progress through the 18 months. Sorry, my dog is barking. There's a set of core courses that all 5 programs have that students take, that all of the students take. These include 2 entry-level seminars where you learn about the program, you start to design your portfolio, you start to work on research and understand the skills that you'll need to progress through the program, through the courses that you'll take. Then we have courses in theories and trends, in multicultural education, in teachers as leaders. Those go back to those learning objectives that we have. Those courses really help target some of those things. And then you'll have your next to last course in the program is a capstone course that focuses on you doing some research and inquiry into your own teaching practice, or you may be a coach, you may be an instructional designer, you may be someone who works with the school in different ways. So the projects, these research or inquiry projects, then are tailored to what you are doing and interested in doing in your particular program. And then we wrap up with the portfolio course, which helps you put everything you've learned into context to share in a portfolio with your advisor, your advisory committee. And they review this and give you feedback and give you the final approval that yes, you have now satisfied all of the requirements for the master's program that you demonstrate in this portfolio. Each concentration then, we have the 6 concentrations, has 4 or 5 focused courses that are going to be content specific and give you a chance to deepen your learning across key topics in that area. So for example, you can see the English language learning program there. The concentration has a course specifically on language study for educators, specifically on English language development and how that language develops for English learners. A course on assessment of culturally and linguistically diverse students, and then a course that goes more detail into academic language in different content areas. So it gives these, kind of takes the program and really breaks it down into manageable pieces focused around important topics in that area. Similarly, if we look on the next page at the math curriculum, again, the one I know well, it has courses focused on specific content areas within math. So everyone takes a course on teaching and learning number and operations, and teaching and learning algebra and functions. And then sort of depending on what's offered in every other year, we have a course on teaching and learning geometry and measurement, or data analysis and probability. Then we also have some more overarching courses on assessment in STEM education, and instead of the multicultural education course, sometimes folks in the math education course take one that's a diverse learners in math education, so it's a little more focused on the math classroom. So you can see here that each of the concentrations has a range of course topics that provide a well-rounded deep dive into their focus area that goes beyond what a person would have learned in the undergraduate curriculum. Right? We delve more into research-backed ideas, into thinking about it now that maybe you've been a teacher in a classroom, using those experiences that you bring back into, or been working in the K-12 schools near where you bring those experiences back to the classroom and can think about them maybe in a different way, in a deeper way than you did as an undergrad. Each concentration has its own structure. Some, like the Ed Technology program, offer us elective, like a choose one. For most, though, it's a nice feature of the program is that you go through a set curriculum of courses with a cohort of colleagues who start the program at the same time as you. And you can see at the end there, some of the programs do leave room for one elective course. The ELL and special ed programs do not have that room in their program. They offer 5 courses, required courses. The ones that offer 4 required courses, then there are some nice elective options too that you can choose that fit your needs.
So some frequently asked questions that I hear as an enrollment counselor. Am I required to be online at a specific time? The program is designed for a working full-time professional, busy student. There is not a specific time that you need to log on. We do ask that you make the commitment to be available, studying, learning, about 15 to 20 hours per week, but that's done at your pace. So that could be 2 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday. You decide what's going to be best for you. That also covers the typical workload, I'd say, for a student. You're going to be reading, researching, and applying what you're learning into classroom. That's all learning, even the application of it, and then bringing that application back into the classroom and discussing it with your faculty member or your professor or a mentor or a peer, another teacher. It's a great way to learn and to learn from others in the classroom that are equally as motivated as you to become better at what you do. Will I need a GRE to apply to the program? No, we do not require a GRE, a GMAT, an LSAT. Just need to be motivated with, I'd say, a strong, good GPA and be ready to learn. Will this allow me to be a licensed teacher? No, that is through another program that we offer here at Purdue. And Dr. Keeney, you had mentioned with ELL and a couple courses that there may be a clinical component. What would a typical clinical component be?
Sure, that's a great question, because will it allow you to be a licensed teacher? No, you need to have an initial license, or sorry, most of our students have an initial license. What I was going to say was for the ELL and the gifted and creative and talented concentrations, you can pursue, it does lead you to be able to get what's called an add-on license, to apply for an add-on license from your state. Those, again, are not existing license. You have to already have an initial license to add on. But both of those programs, because they offer that, have a clinical, what's called a practicum. Sometimes a practicum would be an experience in a school. Could be if you're already in a school, could be in your classroom or in a fellow teacher's classroom, that would place you in an opportunity, that would engage with learners who are English language learners, or with a gifted, creative and talented learners, or a program around those learners. And so that would probably be a full 8-week experience working within that clinical space. And if you're not in a classroom, the program would help find you such a space. But I will say that in most of our courses across the programs, we tend to have also projects that try to connect research to practice. And so those involve maybe doing a little mini research project, or data gathering, or interviewing students, or just teaching a mini lesson, something that places you, taking the information you're learning in the Purdue courses in a classroom setting. So again, if you have your own classroom, that can be your setting, but also we have a lot of students who are maybe not currently in a teaching classroom, and so we would help find a place. And that wouldn't necessarily be for the whole 8 weeks. That might be, the project kind of wraps up the semester. We call them inquiry into practice projects. But we would find a way for you to have access to students to do those research or practice projects.
And would you say that would be included in the 15 to 20 hours?
Yes.
Per week?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. So those 15 to 20 hours. Sorry. We expect you commit to that, but there may be weeks where you're not doing as much. There may be weeks where you have to do just a little more, especially if you're going in and get traveling to a school. But yes, it is definitely included in that time.
And for those for that 8-week course, if they're not currently teaching in a classroom with English language learners or gifted and talented, they're not going to be spending 8 weeks in that class for 15 to 20 hours each week.
No. Of course not. No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. No. Not 15 to 20 hours. Yes. Yes. I don't actually know the specific details of the practicum, but it would, you'd want time engaging with those students. So they'll have those specifics for you in the programs for the clinical practicum. Yeah.
So as far as for admission requirements, we do require a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited university, a resume, 2 letters of recommendation, and then there are 2 written statements. One is a personal history statement, which is meant to complement your statement of purpose. Executive enrollment counselor, I would be more than happy to go over those requirements with you as well. And it is part of the application through the portal. Official transcripts from all universities attended. So if you have an associate's from Ivy Tech and then a bachelor's from maybe Indiana University, I don't know, and you decided to come to Purdue, we would need transcripts from each degree that you completed. And then obviously we complete the application, turn around, pay the application fee. Typically, most students will take 21 days to complete the application if you follow our recommendations that I would be more than happy to walk you through as you make your decision to become a future Boilermaker. So wanted to thank you all very much for attending. You have our 1-800 number, our email address that's available as well. My name is Zach Bergling, and thank you very much, Dr. Keeney, for your time today. I really appreciate your insight, and we hope that this has been beneficial to choosing Purdue, West Lafayette. Thank you.